Ah, the United States of America, the land of the free and home of the brave. Started by a bunch of drunk farmers that said, I don't want to pay no taxes, screw your tea, and somehow found its way into being the sole superpower of the world and one of the richest countries. It's probably one of the only places in the world that you can ride around a mobility scooter with a big gulp in one hand and an AR in the other. But how did we get here? Well, folks, that's the question I aim to answer. Funny enough, our story doesn't even start in America. Rather, it starts in Norway, where a man named Thorvald straight up murders a dude. And as punishment, he is exiled to the new colony of Iceland. So he moves his new young family there, including a very important person to our story, Eric the Red. And maybe it was fate or a family tradition, but Eric the Red would grow up to be a murderer, just like his dear old dad. But this time it might be a little more justified, as the guy he murdered actually murdered some of Eric's slaves. But details. The main point here is that Eric himself got exiled to another colony, Greenland, and he actually named Greenland in hopes of adding more settlers to the area. Man, it helped a bit. While in Greenland, Eric would raise his son, Leif Erickson, along with his other children. But we really only care about Leif, because he's a cool guy. Leif Erickson decided, you know what? My family's a bunch of murderers, and I'm not gonna follow that tradition, man. I'm gonna go back to Norway and become a servant of the king. So that's just what Leif Erickson did. And the king was all like, yo, Leif, you're really cool, man. Hey, have you heard about this Christianity thing? I know we're all about Thor and stuff because we're Vikings, but, Jesus is pretty cool. I like this Jesus guy. And so Leif Erickson was like, yeah, I kind of like this Jesus dude too. So Leif Erickson became a Christian. The King of Norway told Leif Erickson to go back to Greenland and convert Greenland to Christianity too. But unfortunately for Leif Erickson, this angered his father severely. And also unfortunately for Leif Erickson, he got blown off course on his way back to Greenland and accidentally found America. Even though Leif Erickson saw America, he didn't step on the land of America at that time. He merely found his way back to Greenland and talked to his dad about going to explore the land together. But his dad probably wasn't too keen on the idea after his son tried to convert everybody to Christianity, and now his wife, who is now Christian, didn't want to have sex with him anymore. So he was probably like, screw this thing, and when they were traveling to get on a boat to go travel to America, Eric fell off his horse and took it as a sign from God that he is not supposed to discover any more land. So Leif Erickson, with a small group of settlers and a small fleet of ships, went to the newfound land. And when they landed there in 1000 AD, they named the land Vinland after the vines and grapes they found there. Funny enough, the newfound land that Leif and his settlers landed on is actually modern-day Newfoundland, Canada, which is in North America, meaning that they were the first Europeans to land on mainland America. And I say mainland because Greenland is actually a part of North America too. So, either way you look at it, the Vikings were there first. So, anyways, things went pretty well for the settlements in Vinland until they met the Native American people that were there first. A lot of Leif's settlers actually thought the Native Americans were demons posing themselves as people, so their first instinct was to fight them. But Leif said, yo, we're Christians now, we're good boys, so we're just gonna trade with them. Unfortunately, they traded cheese and dairy products with them, and the Native American people were lactose intolerant, so they thought they were being poisoned, so it kind of started an all-out war. Battles with the Native Americans would be the bane of the Viking settlers' existence, and their involvement in the Americas would actually be short-lived in the time span of history, for only about 400 years, and it seems that the Americas would remain a Viking Norse secret. But if that's true, how did the rest of Europe find out about America? It would be so awesome and so base to do such a thing. Enter Christopher Columbus, the man, the myth, the legend. Christopher Columbus was an Italian merchant and he was thirsty for money. Unfortunately for Christopher Columbus, the booming business of the spice trade was insanely expensive for entry. and that was because the Ottomans owned all the trade routes to India and taxed the hell out of it. Fortunately for Columbus, he was a big smart guy with a big smart juicy brain, so he had an idea that surprisingly no one else had yet: just sail the other way around to India. Alright, so hear me out here. The Muslims are making it super hard for us to make money off the spice trade thing, right? And it takes like 3 years to go around Africa. So why don't we just find a new trade route by going through the Atlantic Ocean around the globe to India? I mean, like, it makes perfect sense, dude. We'll be rich. I don't know, man. The Earth's flat, so you'll probably fall off the side of the map. What? Dude, no way. The Earth's round. Like, we've known this since, like, the ancient Greek and Egyptians. Freaking moron. Oh, right you are, big juicy brain boy. But the problem is you need a lot of funding for an expedition like that. And the only kind of people with money like that are kings. So, Columbus went right to work trying to convince a monarch to fund his expedition, but no one was really interested. Well, until he asked the Spanish monarchy at least. But he had to ask him like 3 times. Hey, King and Queen of Spain, let me sail the long way to India around the globe so we can get lots of spices and get lots of money. Dude, what? No, it's a waste of time. Look, Columbus, we really dig the passion here. For real, we do. But you're just like really starting to kill the vibe. So, if he'll shut you up, you can go. For realsies? Yeah, Columbus, for realsies. But you have to promise to be a good boy, okay? Oh yes, ma'am, I promise. Spoiler alert, he was actually a very bad boy. So, from the ports of Palos, Spain, Christopher Columbus set sail the ocean blue in 1492. With him, he had a royal decree from Queen Isabella of Spain, a crew of 85 Spanish sailors, and a fleet of 3 Spanish ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Nina. Together they sailed for what I can only assume was a really boring 35 days until they landed on the island of Guanahana in the Caribbean. When Christopher Columbus landed on the island, he actually believed it to be India, so he jumped off his ships and started talking some mad smack for a guy he didn't really know where he was. But hey, I kinda respect that. Very American of you, Columbus. That's the spirit. Yo, what's up, Indians? It's your boy, Christopher Columbus. Hey, Mr. Columbus. It's very nice to meet you. But you may be a bit confused. This is Guanahana, and we are the Lucian people, and... Hey, very cool, man, but look, I really don't care. You see, I just got off that sausage boat over there, and I'm really just interested in spices. But hey, congratulations on now being part of Spain. Unfortunately for Columbus, this wasn't India, and they didn't have the spices he wanted. So he just took the next best thing back to Spain. You know, the simple stuff, like turkey, tomatoes, cotton, native peoples, and most importantly, gold. But the Spaniards weren't completely selfish. They gave the native people some things too, like diseases, a monarchy, and a monotheistic religion. This little fun experience was called the Columbian Exchange. But this does lead to a couple questions, like how did the Italians make pizza and pasta without tomatoes before this time? Like what? But anyways, Christopher Columbus returned to Spain on March 15th, 1493. And along with his return, he seemed to bring something else with him. The hunger for exploration, adventure, and most importantly gold of the New World. A new age was blossoming in Europe now, the age of discovery, and with it, expanding empires and daring explorers. One of these daring explorers would be another famed fortune-seeking Italian, Amerigo Vespucci. Amerigo went on 2 New World voyages in 1501 and 1502. On his second voyage, it finally hit him that, hey, I don't think this is India. And what do you know? He was right. In 1507, the cartographer Martin Waldseemüller named the New World continents after America. And bam, America is now called America.